Viola, can you believe it's time to start seeds again? No, it's already time to start seeds again. Hi there, YouTube. It is literally time to start seeds again for the fall planters. So I have some pansies, some violas, some kale, and some cabbages that we are going to sow today in hopes to have them to maturity right around when we will plant them out for the fall. I have 10 different seed packets right here for us to start. I know that seems like a lot, but I have a lot of planters and I want everything to be full for fall this season. I feel like last year I focused really heavily on my front planters, like the ones that face the street, but all of the ones on the side of my home and in the backyard, I really just kind of let go after the summer planters. So I really want to make sure that I have stuff for all of my planters from the fall, and I want to grow it all from seed myself, just like I did for the summer containers. I won't be sowing all the seeds in each of these packets because I don't need that many plants, but I will sow quite a few of each of these. I have this viola, which is Antique Laeta, I think is how you say that. I thought that this was like a really pretty coloring for violas. I have the Historic Florist Mix Pansy. I thought this one was really pretty too. We have the bunny ears viola, which I thought was just adorable. I thought that the little bunny ears were so cute. And then I thought that this one would be really neat. This is the Black Double Pansy, which I thought would be super cool for Halloween containers. And then last for the flowers, I have the Swiss Giant Formula Mix Pansy, which is what I grew in the springtime, and I just really enjoyed the colors. I like having a mix of the rainbow as far as the pansies go, just to kind of be able to tuck in and give some extra color in the fall. So we have this one as well. Now for the kale and the cabbages, which honestly, I think I get just as excited, if not more excited, for the kales and cabbages than I do for the violas and pansies. I just feel like kales and cabbages really scream fall to me. I don't know why, but I feel like they just look really great in fall containers. Plus, it's nice to have a really pretty foliage to go with those pretty pansies and violas. So we have the Japanese flowering kale right here. For these ones from Pinetree Seed, I'll make sure to put up a picture. This is the flowering kale Peacock White, which I want to say was like a super fringed frilly one that had white in the center. We have the flowering kale Peacock Red, which I want to say was a fringed kale with a red center. We have flowering cabbage Kamome White, and this is flowering cabbage Kamome Red, which I want to say is very similar to the white one. All right, let's get to sowing these seeds. I feel kind of spoiled having this many. I really went in hard this summer on a fall order for seeds, so yeah, I'm really excited about this. I create my own seed starting mix whenever I'm starting seeds because I need a lot of it, and it's really expensive at the store. It's normally marked up at a premium just because it's seed starting mix, and normally it's sold only in small bags. So normally what I do is I get a compressed bale of coconut coir and I hydrate that with hot water, as hot of water as you can get, and I normally need to put about 4 gallons into this container, let it fill up. Once that's cool, I break it apart and then I add perlite to it. You can use whatever ratio of perlite you would like to. More perlite you use, the more drainage it's going to have, but that also means that your mix is going to dry out a little bit quicker. I normally try to go for about 20% perlite in my mixes. That's just a roundabout number. I'm not exact at all when I'm making a seed starting mix, but yeah, this is what I use. And you're probably wondering why I didn't put any type of fertilizer in here. Because this is seed starting mix, you do not need any type of fertilizer. When you are starting seeds, that seed has all the nutrients that it needs to get started. Now, once that seedling needs potted up from a cell, which I am going to be using these 72 cell count trays, once it's big enough to fill up this cell and we pot it up into its actual pot, that is when we will introduce fertilizer to the soil. Until then, there is no need. You are pretty much just wasting your money. These 72 cell count trays I've had for 2 seasons, and I literally just rinse them out at the end of the season. I don't really like bleach them or anything. I just make sure to thoroughly spray them down with like the jet setting of my hose to make sure that they're nice and clean. And then we're just gonna fill it up with this potting mix. Now we are going to tamp down each of these just a little bit just to make sure these are nice and full, because that first time you probably don't get them all the way full, but you don't want to pack them down so tightly that you compress the soil. So I just kind of loosely add soil and just kind of rake it over the top just to fill in any spaces. And there we have a cell tray ready for planting. I'm just gonna do this 2 more times because I think this is gonna be about 3 trays worth of seedlings. Now we are ready to plant. And let's just write tags for each of these. There are 12 cells in each of these rows vertically, so I think I'm gonna label these vertically. That's normally how I do it. So the first row will be flowering cabbage, Kamome red, and then the second one will be flowering cabbage, Kamome white, and then we'll go on from there. And I truly think 12 of each of these will be plenty because we have 5 different varieties, so that's well over 60. That's about 60. I think that's exactly 60. Yeah, 60 cabbages. That'll be plenty in kale. And we are gonna sow these 1/4 inch deep. They are super easy to germinate. And the seeds are not too tiny. I'll show you. See, they're nice little black balls. They almost look like they're pelleted, but they're not. Like, they make it so easy to sow. So we're just gonna do a little divot because it's only 1/4 of the way deep. And with these, I only add 1 per cell because I normally have really good germination with cabbages and kale. And then once this whole tray is sowed, I will spray this with some water, and then that's it. It's super easy. You'll probably see seeds sprout within 5 to 7 days. They literally sprout so quickly. And once they're big enough to pop out of this plug size, all you have to do is pop them into something bigger and start to fertilize them with something for leafy greens, something with high nitrogen, which is the first number on a fertilizer bottle. Now that I've covered that, I'm just gonna sow the rest of these super quickly, and then we will move on to the pansies and violas, which are even easier than the cabbages and kale, to be honest. I double check that seed package. That was that one and that one's that one. Always double check as you're sowing, particularly if you're sowing things that are similar or look close to the same. Like I had a flowering kale Peacock white and a flowering cabbage Kamome white, and those were what I was mixing up. Literally thought I grabbed one seed pack and grabbed another one. It is that easy. And if you make that mistake, it literally, sometimes it will be devastating. Japanese kale, making sure this time. Some of these seed packets have so many seeds in them, and some of them have like none. Like it's like 20 seeds. This is like 75 seeds. Same cost, literally. I think these were both $3. But some varieties are more specialty than others and demand higher price tags. All done with the cabbages and kale. Now it's time for the pansies and violas. Pansies and violas I feel like are easier because they're surface sow, so it's even harder to mess it up. You literally just sprinkle the seeds on top of the soil. The only thing is they're a little bit smaller. They're not too small to handle, but they do require some finessing. Like you're gonna have to be very, very careful with these. I don't think I'm gonna need 3 trays after all. I think I'm gonna be able to get by with 2. Oh, see, the seeds are literally, oh my gosh. See, I hate how some of these seed packets, literally you open up the seed packet and there's your seeds. Like they're literally in between the envelope. I'm glad that I caught that because there's not very many in this packet. There's only supposed to be 15 seeds and that's probably the majority of them right there. So let's go ahead and just pluck them onto the surface of the soil and hope for the best. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now to open the packet. Oh, there was more than that in there. Yay, good. 11, 12, 13. Yeah, a couple seeds left, 4 seeds left. Plus what's in the packet. I think that there was literally probably 30 seeds in here, not 15. But when you buy seeds from rareseeds.com, you literally get a minimum of 15 seeds. So there's normally more than the minimum in there. Sometimes there's just the minimum, but in most cases I've noticed to get a little bit extra in my packages, which is nice because I think that there's enough in here for me to do a full sowing of these again in the springtime if these don't self-seed, which I hope that they do. They're so cute. I think because I have so many black devil pansy seeds, I'm gonna do 2 rows of this. I'm also gonna do 2 rows of this Pansy Swiss formula mix as well because I have quite a few seeds of this as well. To me, it's so neat how like all seeds of the same species look the same, but then all the flowers are so different. Is that just a me thing? It always amazes me when I open up these seed packets and I'm like, yep, that looks like the same as the last one. And that looks like the same as the last one. But they're all so different. So neat. And there they are, all sown. The possibilities. Now to water these in and put these under grow lights. And they're going to live here underneath my grow light. I have it on for 12 hours a day. And I promise you, pansies, kale, violas, and cabbages are super easy to grow. All you really need to do is make sure to keep these super moist while they're trying to germinate. Other than that, you'll be good to go. Truly the only time I haven't had success with kales, pansies, violas, and cabbages is one, when I didn't accidentally put a seed into the cell, like if I miss a cell, or 2, if I let it dry out. Those are the 2 things. You won't get a seedling come up, but they're pretty much 100% germination. They really, really are. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope it encourages you to start some things for your fall containers as well from seed, because you can save a ton of money, and some of these things are really easy to grow. Like, I've grown these every year, and they've always done very well for me, so I hope that they do well for you guys too. I'll see you guys around for whatever video I come up with for next time. Bye, guys. Cannot wait to see all these beautiful blooms and these soft, pretty colors.